Hello everyone, so I have no idea how to record this without using my microphone. So, we're going to be solving Cookie's adventure. Just loads. Cryptic Epiphany, wherever that is, right here. So this is a weird one, it's a difficult one, it's a meta one. So if you're playing Wonderland Adventures and don't want to do anything beyond normal gameplay, this is not the adventure for you, but I'm still going to record a solution to this anyway because it's amazing. So, this will also require a ton of editing on my part and I'm going to hate it, so here we go. Cryptic Epiphany, you're only moving in circles. 1 is greater than 2. That is relevant.
Let's
So,
go!
you look at this and you wonder, well, what the heck's going on? You got all these colors. Believe it or not, this is red, orange, yellow, green, aqua, indigo, purple, and white. But because the entire screen is like red shifted, the level lighting, you just roll with it. So you can do whatever you want. You know, it doesn't matter. What does this say? So this here is 13. This is LV. I thought this. Well, actually, it's a WLV, but still, I digress. I thought this, and I was so confused because what are you supposed to do? But the only rules that Cookie has in store is that you cannot open the editor itself, and you cannot use the vault. But everything else you can do, and that's why you see my Windows background. So I have... no, I don't want the Mimic version. I actually put it in the regular version this time. So, user data, custom, adventures. So, this is what's weird. You actually go into the file for Cookie #Cryptic. And you have the dialogue and the level that you have. But you also have this one called 113. Yeah. So, what you do is you actually copy and paste this out. For the lulz, I'll go ahead and copy and paste the first one and show you what happens. If you name this 13 instead, something. So this used to be a different number. Cookie was very kind to change it and also made it actually safe to upload to YouTube, so cool. I'm gonna abort the adventure and re-enter it. Let me show you what happens. You drown, lol. So this is important because remember, we didn't have a 13 level before. That's because Cookie is a big troll. So what happens when you actually play this without doing anything to the adventure file is you just mav, right? So yeah, should have thought about this. Now I gotta actually load it back up.
Let's get to it!
Okay, so you need to go in here, and what you do is you can either copy it or, in my case, just to simplify it, rename it to 13.wlv. Theoretically, you could make this the first level, but I think you can't really do that either because you just spawn off the grid. I think. I'm not entirely sure. But I suspect. So we go to Cryptic Epiphany again, now that we have changed the dot level.
Let's go!
We still ignore this. We just go straight for it. Also, both of these signs say the same exact thing. It's amazing. And, yeah, this is a beautiful aesthetic for the record. Forget not the past, take them to my Genesis. Further back, before we even met. Now that is a very cryptic read. And this part is actually tricky because it's a legit puzzle. I don't know for sure if I remember how to solve it, so bear with me. Save here.
Save game. Are you sure?
Ignore my other save files. And Cookie is such a troll because, like, these are pop magic, right? Like, it looks like POW, but it's actually pop. But when you press these tiles on the left, this is Burr, and this is Pal. So these are legit Burr and Pal. So you have to solve this twice. You go to these red things here. I believe both solutions involve doing this first, as I recall. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so the first one over here, actually this is the second one, so maybe I'll try to do this one first. Need a burr. So what we do, I'll do this one first because I actually remember. Oh no, that's correct, yeah. So then you do this. You do the burr thing here. You go down here. It's a very clever, intricate puzzle. It just really is. And you need to do that because you can't reach this tile from down there. So it's brilliant. So this is important. What I can do is I can save a picture of this. And I will show you why this is relevant and when I pair it up with the other clue. So
load game.
Here. See if I can remember how to solve this part. Rulers, and yes, that's actually how long it takes me to load my levels. It's just Wonderland for you. So yeah, same thing.
Load game.
Okay. We have the same thing. I want to do this because you get 3 for 2. I mean, that's straightforward. I believe this is the same. You have to pal this still. But then you also need a burr here and bring a pal along. So no, you don't bring a pal along. Never mind. Right. Okay, so it's tricky. So this, you still have this, right? But then you bring one of these. You leave the other one. You burr that. Then you actually go back to pal. This is why the spring is here. I love how symmetrical this is too. It's just brilliant. So then you pal this from here using that one. And then you pick up burr again, and then you just burr to the thing. It's really clever. And in all of this, these 2 barrels are completely useless. They're just trolling. So then this is the other clue. Width plus height. So what do these 2 things do? What do they mean? Question, actually, let me get rid of that. So, what do they mean? So, this is question F and the and T are both important here. In fact, so important, I am going to use. Never mind Windows. Why don't you ever use the print screen when I ask you to? Okay. Never mind then. Just save this in mind. We'll come back to this. I have them saving pictures somewhere, but still, I digress. So width and height is easy. I'll actually save this one because that's harder to remember. Width and height is easy because you just count the tiles, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. This is a 17 by 17 grid, in fact. So what this means is that this is actually, the number we're looking for is 34. So question mark P is 34. And what does and T mean? Well, if we go on Google, I'm going to have to edit out my bookmarks and cries. What we have to do is go to a site that converts base 64. I don't know how I figured this out initially, but I did. It looks like something like weird code or something. At first I thought it was a YouTube URL thing, but so snipping tool, we got and T equals methrms. Alright, so what does this do? Well, we auto detect. It's base 64. We decode. and it says 25732. Now, what do 17 plus 17, i.e. 34, and 25732 have to do with anything? Well, this is where the first clue comes into play.
Load game.
Here, I know I'm not supposed to vault, but I'll do it just because well, actually, I'll go ahead and restart just because it's actually faster.
Let's go!
So we do this.
Whoops!
And it says, forget not the past, take me to my genesis, further back before we even met. So what does that mean? So it's not the beginning of the adventure. That's the genesis. No. Further back before we even met is right here on the download page. And what does this have to do with anything? Well, if you look in the upper left corner, I have to remember not to edit this part out. You look in the upper left corner, there's a URL. And if you notice, there's a question mark F equals something. You put 34 in there, and then and T is 25732. If you do this, you get taken to a really old topic. Well, it's not that old, but still, it's old enough. I mean, by now it's 8 years old, right? 8.5 now. And this was the hex editing topic. Why? I don't know why, but still here. And there's a lot of juicy content here. Like, I mean, just saying. But, it's mostly irrelevant for what we're trying to do here. Basically, and I think this is also when CMD4 was being discovered or something. But if you scroll down toward the bottom of page 3, you notice a post by QLoof about, this. There's some really cool stuff here, like you can hack your player speed. I wish you could do that in with CMD4, but as far as we know right now, we can't. But then again, we're discovering something new all the time in Wonderland. And you notice, this was last edited on August 21st. Looking for me. This is important because I'm gonna have to edit this out because I don't want to show everything in my downloads inbox. But so yeah, so we got this download, right? And I'm gonna paste it in here. And you notice that this says something. This is a .wlv. Now the zip is also gonna be relevant in a moment, but here. So we're gonna change this to 13.wlv because we don't need this anymore. This one. This is the new one. This is how stinking meta this is. It's awesome. And this was inspired because I made a joke about my other adventure, which is like just a period. It's just no name. Being meta, and you sort of have to use the manual to figure out. It's like as an inward helix joke, right? And then he took that to the extreme. So we renamed Hatesipsel to 13. Now we have to abort this again, and then we have to go back into Cryptic Epiphany, and we have to go here again. It's just genius. And this is obviously Imgar. Like, I mean, it might not be obvious to everyone, but it's pretty obvious. Hi, so, later editing Jutoma here, I didn't realize it actually is a Wordle reference, and in fact, you solve it as if it were Wordle. See, I saw a word, letter salad, and it made sense to me. I didn't realize it was actually Wordle, so yeah, thanks, Cookie. It's Imgar, and this /a/ is relevant, and also it kills you, which is just amazing. The A is also technically phonetically accurate.
Oh no!
Indeed. So, I have so much stinking editing to do. So what we gotta do is, we gotta go to Imgar, right? There's a lot of editing I'm gonna have to do. So, here's the thing, if you go here, that /a/ is relevant because that's part of the URL. And as you can see, I've solved this before, obviously. This is the zip file's name, or the original .wlv name. This is important because this is the URL you use Or it's supposed to be. What is that? Oh, wait, that's right. So, fun fact is that it's also a bit of a troll. It's supposed to be an uppercase I, and it looks like a lowercase L. So that might really throw people off if they try to put an L in instead of an I. It's actually hate sipsy, not hate sipsol. That's a little bit evil. I would have kind of liked if there was a different URL, but what can you do? So the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, which is so weird. I don't think that has anything to do with this, but basically you're represented with this image, which looks like a bunch of random horror stuff. This is relevant because this is relevant. So let me show you why this is relevant. We're gonna open MS Paint. Yeah. MS Paint, one sec. Alright, so I hope this is a big enough canvas. I had trouble last time. So what you do is, this is actually a jigsaw puzzle. What you do is you take different bits and bobs, right? Take this and you actually put it up here. You can ignore this upper left corner. It is completely useless. So you do this, and you actually take this right here. This goes down here, except I cut too much. One sec. You actually, this is a bit of a troll because this got me thinking that this was different from the others, and then I realized it is a jigsaw puzzle that way. But because it looks so similar, it's really hard to get the right cut. It's hard to get the right cut, but this is what you're supposed to do. It goes here, not up there, but here. And this actually all moves to the left. And now, actually right there. And sorry for the little white dots, it's fine. Then this up here. And the space is completely irrelevant, but just because it's kind of weird without it, I am gonna go ahead and copy and paste it. Void. Got a cat, one sec. This is so much editing. Alright, so okay, my OCD is bothering me, one sec. This can't stand. Okay, it's not great, but it's better. So what does this mean? Well, if you've noticed something about either this or this already, this is actually the first level.
Go!
You notice, see, this is wall right here. It's the same. And yeah, this actually is part of the level, sort of. So you might notice, well, this is an odd shape. Like, there's a one thing here. It's either void or the room, but there's nothing like that anywhere in this entire level. I mean, there's no like wall like that at all anywhere. But there's a little bit of a hidden thing here. So if we go back to the right thing, this little blue thing here is a hint. This is actually the blue button. And this here is another hint. So at first I originally thought it was this here. But no, actually, this is saying that there's something here that does not exist in the original WLV. Because it's supposed to be wall, right? You'd think. But no, this is it's not even the floor. This is water. See? This is the blue button. This is the corner right here. And then this is the wall, and then this is the water tile right here. It's so genius and so evil. Anyway, so what you do is you go through there and you go flying, and yeah, that's it. So we're going to take another snip of this. We don't have to. We can solve it right now. I wanted to do that.
Oh, now I'm
Plus, we
sad.
have to get back to the original adventure anyway, because turns out this is where this comes in. 1 is greater than 2.
Woohoo! We're on our
And you
way.
have this weird clock thing. Well, here, 3 is greater than 2. So what the heck does this mean? So here, wait one sec. Okay, what does this mean? Well, this is 1 greater than 2 and 3 is greater than 2. This is, interesting. So, this is a quantity table right here. So what, you notice that these are 1 to 8, right? Well, if you realize that the colors in Wonderland are identified as technically 2 ways of identifying them. There's a way of doing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the editor version. Or you can consider them 1 greater than that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the case with the vault, where if you vault a colored magic, it is 1 for red, 2 for orange, etc. And this is important because this is the code right here. This is everything you need. So what you do, what does 1 is more than 2 and 3 is more than 2 mean? Well, if you count the number of 2s, there are only 2 of them. If you count the number of 3s, there are 3 of them. And if there are 1s, there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as it turns out, this is a counting game. So we start with 8 because there's only 1 8, right? So there was 1 8, so there's that. There are 2 2s. So obviously 2 is next, right? Okay, so there are 3 3s, I believe, yeah. So 3 is next. And then I believe 5 is next, if memory serves me correctly, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 7s. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1s. Wait, one sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 7. Okay, there's 7 7. So 1 is next. Then 7. And then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a ton of 4s. It really throws me off because this looks black, but this is not pressed yet. And then lastly, 6. I mean, obviously 6. There's just a billion 6s. I believe Cookie actually removed one of the 6s, and he might have placed it somewhere, but there's still this. It's 6. And that is it. I think. Unless he's gone ahead and changed. One sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, and one last addendum before I turn my microphone off for future videos. I just typed with Cookie about this, and yeah, the opposite order was always intended, because the original version I played it was something with spork, so you could do it multiple ways. The hints include the fact that the arrow points from the numbers of greater quantity to the number with smaller one, which, you know, it basically says that it's an arrow, but it also is explained in the needs of the many outweigh those of the few, which basically says that, yeah, the ones with a higher quantity come before the ones of lesser quantity. It's really clever, but yeah, sneaky. So yeah, that's it. Why is this not working? Okay, one second. Let me try this again. Okay, new plan. Let's do that backwards. Let's do it backwards. So instead of that way around, we do... doing it backwards is somehow much harder. Okay, 6, 4. Give me the right thing there. 6, 4, 7, 1, 5, 3, 2, 8. Let's try this. There we go. So we changed it. Originally you could do it both ways, but this... I don't know why he did it this way around specifically, but it is what it is. So, and now, we win! Yeah, that's the adventure, everyone. That's what it took half an hour, but still, hopefully the video will be quicker for you. So yeah, really an adventure. Hope you enjoy, and that. Take care. Bye.